Okay, today we are playing a game on Ilios. We are in the Bronze SR range, and we'll be playing Orisa the entire way through. And there's nothing else to say, so let's just start the game. So we're on Ruins first, unfortunate, the one with no pit on it. I mean, it has a pit, but I mean, you can't really use this pit. Yeah, it's too out of the way. So we've immediately muscled our way onto the point. We are, like, pretty far forward when we don't know what's going to, like, run into the point at us right now. It's a little scary to be like this in the middle of the point, because the thing is with the map with Ruins, right, is that it is just a box inside another box. So usually standing like squarely in the middle of it results in you being threatened from like a multitude of different locations, which is very scary. But their Hanzo just immediately jumped onto the point and killed himself on us. So, you know, that was very nice. It makes it a little bit harder for them to really do anything when they're missing one of their DPS. Toes just flew past us right there. We didn't notice, actually, I don't think. He went past us right there because we should be helping focus that guy down right now since he's out of position. But we're more focused over there at the moment. We notice Toes when we back up. And we're being very aggressive, which, I mean, is pretty much fine to do. It's a little scary to be like this in the enemy team as Orisa, but we have a Lucio, so we can, like, hopefully, assuming he's in the area, get away quickly again. Depends on the Lucio if things go badly. So we won the point, now we get to start controlling the area. We're sitting back here. We can go and stand, like, up in that doorway if we really want to, but it can be a bit scary. Again, we have a Lucio, but this is a bronze Lucio. I wouldn't have enough faith in him personally to go and stand up at the next door. If you have a little bit more faith in the Lucio to, like, get you out if something bad starts happening, then you can go stand up by the next one, but a little spooky. So, we've used Fortify really early right here. Like, nothing's happening to us yet. Like, Reinhardt appeared, but he didn't actually, like, do anything for a while. We would have wanted to instead, like, Fortify, like, now. Or, like, right before, Bridget, used Shield Bash. Because now, Fortify is running out as soon as he gets in and starts doing damage to us. And with Fortify, we want to mitigate as much damage as possible with it. You know, we don't want it running out, like, right as the fight starts. We haven't, like, used Halt this entire time, I don't think. We certainly haven't used it much, I know that much. And Halt's a really good cooldown. It's a really good ability. Yank people out of position, yank them over Reinhardt's shields, you know. Ideally, you can communicate with your teammates about it, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, when you see the Halt going, like, they should just be focusing on where that's going anyway, but you know how people are. Why don't we have Fortify? When did we use Fortify in here? Go back a bit further, because that's already halfway through using it. So we used Fortify, like, right now, we're full health. Coalescence, like, just for Coalescence, it's not worth it. Especially when she didn't even really look like she was going to be coming forward that aggressively with it. You never know with Moira players, but full health, oh my god, what a brave Reinhardt? Brave Junkrat. I mean, it worked, so, you know. But he did die, so fucking shows him. Yeah. If we had Fortify for when Junkrat jumps on us right there, we probably live, honestly. Junkrat, we almost got him. So, if we had Fortify, we might have survived through that, and then maybe this fight goes differently on the point. Who knows? Different world at that point. So, we've got the bongo built up. We want to just use that, like, as soon as the fight starts, basically. When we put it down, like, right there. Ideally, we wait a little bit, because, well, I suppose if we put it around the corner, it doesn't matter that much. Usually, you want to put, like, a fresh shield down, like, as you use the bongo as well, but it's not really mandatory, and we are putting it around this corner, so I guess it's not really that big of a deal. And now everybody's pushing Q. Soldier also just used his ultimate behind us as well, so our whole team just pushed Q. And we got control of the point, so that's great, but I mean, hopefully the enemy team don't have a lot of their ultimates ready, because, you know, oh, fucking Hanzo's coming in. He didn't get very far, but good heavens did he try. He certainly did try. You can't fault him for that one. So we're a little bit braver now. We're standing up here. You can go stand up on the next one. It's just a little spooky to do. So here, like, we can hold these boys back. I mean, with Reinhardt in general, usually halting him away from you is going to be better than just letting him sit there, like, in melee range with you. Especially since we're currently trying to stall these people from getting to the point as well. But they didn't get to the point anyway. And like I always say, if you don't get punished, you don't have to learn. So we won the first round. Hooray, fantastic. Now we're on Lighthouse. That's yes, looking at the Lighthouse. That's on Lighthouse, of course. If we can get control of the point on this one, this is a really good map to play Orisa on, I find. And I mean, well, you know, well's a classic for Orisa, isn't it? So we've pushed Fortify really late here. We've already taken most of the damage by the time we've actually pushed Fortify. Because we get hit by the fire strike, like, sideways, so we didn't see that coming. But, like, right after that's happened, push Fortify. They're coming in at that point. We've already taken most of the damage, down to, like, less than 200 health by the time we actually push it. Ideally, you know, you push it before you take all the damage. The fire strike did come at us sideways, but at the same time, it's not that unusual for people to come down that alleyway as well. Usually, you know, if they aren't all coming out the middle, just have a gander the other way. See if they're coming out that way instead. And if they aren't coming out of either of those two ways, they must have gone through the left-hand side, or their left-hand side, our right-hand side instead. Then, you know, just don't try and not get surprised by the damage, and then you can see it coming, and you don't have to take it all, you know? If you just know that it's coming, you just dodge, forehead, easy. So, Reinhardt's really badly out of position, like, he's pretty fucking dead at that point. There's not gonna be much he can do about it. Hey, we used halt. We didn't pull him off the edge. That's, I think, the first time we've used halt. We definitely haven't been using it much. Just, use it as, like, very frequently. Just try and yank people out of position. Somebody stood behind, like, that wall, like, that pillar right there. Yank them out of it. See if you can get them. You never know. If there's a bunch of people stood behind a shield, try and yank them over the shield. And they'll at least take some damage, even if they don't die. And if you've got, like, you know, a Roadhog, a Hanzo, something like that, Widow on your team, not that unusual for them to kill somebody that you halt over the shield. So their Reinhardt's got no self-preservation instincts, which makes things a lot easier for us because he's their main tank and all. Toes, it's just not quite as good. We just fed that Toes a lot of shield right there, but at the same time, he's probably going to die, so it's not exactly the end of the world. We used Fortify early here. Why did we use Fortify? We used Fortify. It's not worth using Fortify there either, just like Toes shooting at us. Like, yeah, Toes does like a lot of damage for a tank, but like, we got 450 health. We were full health at the time. We didn't need to use Fortify that early, which meant we didn't have it for Gravitic Flux, which is slightly more important. So we've almost got the Bongo built up again. We ended up losing control of the point. Unfortunate. The point, it can be scary fighting in the point on this map, because there's, like, no cover in the point, and it's just this really confined location that can turn into a death trap really easily. So, don't be afraid to also, like, stand off of the point. Usually standing on the point is, like, the most dangerous place to be. As the tank, we're the one that has to contest the objective, but if it means that you're gonna die, it might not be worth it. If you can stand off of the point and that puts you in a better position to survive and win the fight, that's preferable. We're gonna get him? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, play of the game. Nice. If, winning the fight is always better than standing on the point, because as long as you aren't gonna, like, as long as they aren't going to win from taking it for a second, right? If you win the fight, but lost the point, you just take it back immediately afterwards, so it's no big deal, as long as it's not, like, literally they're gonna win if they take control of the point, or if I step off of it, you know. This point in particular, man, it turns into a fucking death trap in this room pretty frequently. Fortunately, as Orisa, we do usually get the ability to just walk out because of Fortify. Oh, we're gonna... damn. No 2 for 1. We just put this bongo down right in front of Reinhardt, which is not exactly ideal positioning for it, but it ended up living for a really long time, so, you don't get punished, you don't have to learn. Again, did we halt? We didn't halt Reinhardt away from us. We did. Well, we tried to halt him off the edge. Did we get another chance? No, we got, like, clapped before halt came back up again. You tried to halt somebody off the edge. Fair enough. If you get him off the edge, fucking dead. Pits are overpowered, man. You can get rid of, like, a whole man with 1 ability. Incredible. And Orisa's, like, the only one in the game who, like, still gets to boop Reinhardt off, to be honest with you. Dude, Reinhardt's passive is so fucking sick now. Oh my god. I love when Lucio, like, standing on well, Lucio just tries his absolute hardest to get in position to boop you off. He boops you, and you just don't really fucking move anymore. It's absolutely incredible. And then you just turn and slap Lucio. It's amazing. Reinhardt's sick. Getting to move so fast and the massive displacement reduction is incredible. Finally, the passive is actually good enough. When they first put it out, I was like, man, that is not high enough. But they buffed it. Now it's good enough. Hammond is, still sometimes an issue, but... So we're trying to muscle our way in again. When do we use Fortify here? Again, nothing's happening yet, but we are, like, pushing into them at the time, so it's not exactly unimaginable something happens to us. We do, like, have to go in and stand on it, don't we? Come on, YouTube, you can do it. There you go. Well, no, we didn't have to go in and stand on it just yet, and, like, it is a fucking death trap in here right now. Like, there's a lot of people. They're a really short-range team. They have a lot of, they got, like, Ryan, Bridget, Reaper. They've got a lot of scary people to be right next to. We should just change to, like, Hammond to get back faster right now. We're not gonna get back in time regardless, but we should have changed to a faster hero to try and get back in time there. Sometimes it matters, So we lost that round. Oh no, whatever. It's fine, we got one more round. And now it's on Well, which is, like, one of the best maps to be Orisa on. Nice big pit that's easy to use to kill people. And we get to just sit on the other side of the pit and, like, shoot at them. It's incredible. Ryan, Ryan doesn't really know what to do with himself. He is indeed coming around this way. Honestly, that's more awareness than you see out of the average bronze player, to be honest with you. Like, I've seen so many people that would have just been taken by surprise by that Reinhardt just coming up to the side of them, even though, like, where else could he possibly be going, So, anyway, we've managed to stop him from walking in, at least now, and he's still trying to get in. Not quite. So Reinhardt is behind us right now, isn't he? This has gone back too far. Yes, Reinhardt just charged behind us, and he ended up pinning Moira. So there is still a Reinhardt behind us right now. There's Reinhardt. That's his shield just poking through us right there. We're steadfastly trying to ignore Reinhardt right now. Get it? Because his passive is called Steadfast. Anyway, you can't just let Reinhardt hang out behind you in your team. Like, we have to take a little bit more interest in killing that guy. We can't just let him be back there. I'm not sure if we actually knew he was back there, because we never actually, like, looked back at him after he charged. So maybe we didn't know. But, we can't just let him be back there. So we, coming back out again, trying to come through this way. I mean, it's fair enough, I don't really like coming through the gazebo I don't like coming through the gazebo personally, but a lot of people do. It's more personal preference. I don't like it that much. So, here comes it. We didn't use halt on Ryan right here. Again, we just let him, like, walk in and start smacking people, and then we had Fortify there, but we didn't use it in time. So, like, if Ryan's in there swinging at you, or he's trying to get in there and swinging at you, just, like, yank that boy backwards. With halt, ideally, like, you don't just, like, throw it straight behind him, because there's this thing with Halt where, like, if you just throw it straight at... That's a bad color. Just changed color on me right there. If you just chuck it, like, straight at somebody, you know, like, ground level, if you just chuck it in, they get yanked into the orb, okay? And then they're slowed and they can start walking around again. If you aim above the ground, however, then they get yanked into the air, and they have to land before they can actually regain control of their heroes. So they get yanked up, and then they have to fall, and then they're allowed to move again. So with Halt, it is better if you can halt somebody into the air as well, because then they have to actually fall before they regain control. Unless they have some kind of movement ability they can use in the air, then, you know, whatever, but... Like someone like Reinhardt, he has to fall to the ground before he is allowed to start moving it again, so it effectively elongates the effect of the CC a little bit more. They are slowed regardless, even if you just throw it straight at them, but they do get to start moving again, right after they've been yanked in, whereas they get, instead of getting stuck in on this predictable arc down. Is Hanzo gonna do it? Hey, Hanzo got back out, good for him. Bad for us, obviously, but good for him, good for him. He is fucking dead now. So we have the Bongo. Like, you just want to use the Bongo as early in a team fight as possible. The Bongo is a support ultimate, and all support ultimates are this way, except for Transcendence and Sound Barrier, because they're defensive ultimates. All support ultimates you want to use as early in the team fight as possible, because you want as many people to benefit from it as possible, right? So you want everybody to be benefiting from the Bongo, ideally. And the earlier you use it in a fight, the more likely your teammates are to use their ults in combination with the Bongo as well. You know, you just want it out there getting value as soon as it possibly can. Like, the Bongo stays around for a long fucking time. We want that boy out there. Are we going to put it down now? Ooh, we're watching our halt right there. I guess we don't really need to use it right now. Things are looking like it's going to be okay. I'm mostly just like, you know, when it's potentially the last fight, the Bongo isn't, like, that important to me. I would have probably just put it down just to, like, make sure we win that fight, but at the same time, it did look like we were going to win. So, you know, you don't want to use your ultimate on a fight that you've already won or lost. Right here, we could have yanked this Hanzo back again, or at least tried to, because he's, like, he's gonna run back towards his spawn. Like, there's no other way for him to go that makes sense. So, like, he's gonna go that way. So if we just halt, like, you know, like here-ish right now, or, like, right in... Well, he's got lunge, so it doesn't really matter about doing it in the air for him. But if we, like, do it, like, right there, right now, when he is starting to get over there, we'll just yank him back around the cover again. Or, you know, don't react that quickly, just, like, toss it now and see if we get him, you know? At least give it a try to see if we can kill the Hanzo with halt right there. Instead of just, like, letting him get away. And, I mean, he's come back again with, like, 5 health, so, you know, whatever. Here, he is gonna go for this health kit, because he's still almost dead. So, just, like, start moving. Like, again, we could use halt right now to try and stop him from living again here, because he's, like, going to try and go to that health kit. So we could have just, like, chucked halt at him, like, right there, and then when he ducks around the corner, we can yank him back out again. But if we don't want to use halt, whatever, just, like, go stand on this health kit. Just, like, don't let him get this health kit. He has to be planning to go for it. And we killed him anyway, so, you know, whatever. He still did a bad thing, so he didn't live. But he might have lived if he gets to the health kit. Whereas if we take the health kit from him, he's got, like, no chance. What are you doing, my son? Alright, yeah, just looked right at me and then kept doing what he was doing. That's a classic cat maneuver right there. So, still won the fight. Hooray, Reinhardt earth-shattered some people. It didn't amount to anything. You know. There's not a lot we can do about blocking Earth Shatter. Like, it's sort of a goal for us as Orisa, but with our shield being cooldown gated, you know, we have to be in, like, the right place, right time to block Earth Shatter rather than anything else. So, Ryan's charging behind us. Yep, I heard him start charging, and we did not push Fortify. So yeah, we pushed Fortify, like, way too late right here. With Reinhardt behind us like that, you know, turning away from him, he was, like, out of position, but I can understand wanting to get back over there to, like, try and frontline, seeing as the enemy team are trying to push onto the point, and we're the main tank, so we want to try and stop them walking in as much as possible, but gotta be, like, at least, like, listening to the Reinhardt to start charging behind us, because if you turn your back on Reinhardt, and you're, like, a big character, he's gonna try and charge you. It's how they are. So, turning away from him is, like, we want him dead, but at the same time, if the enemy team are pushing onto the point and we're the main tank, we do have an obligation to go and try to stop them from doing that also. So, it's an awkward situation. I understand why we did it. I think it was fair enough, but you do have to still listen for the guy. Because if we if we fortify the charge, we don't take that big chunk of damage, we don't end up in that awkward position, maybe we live, maybe that fight goes differently. Who knows, right? Completely different world we're talking about at that point, but you never know. So I did, in fact, change the screen a little bit because it was a weird resolution. And here's what we've got for YouTube suggestions today. Your Overwatch is terrible. I hate them. Bad people. Probably fine people. Bad channel. Matt McMuscles is great. What Happened? Fantastic series. Highly recommend. It's about movies and games that were absolute disasters. Highly recommend. Very entertaining. Very funny. Very funny just like laughing at companies doing stupid things. If you like Dragon Ball FighterZ, Dato Doya is very good. Recommend. Northern Line's my favorite YouTuber, easily. My hero. I want to be just like him when I grow up. The Spiffing Brit is also very funny. His channel is based around, like, finding exploits in video games. Like, they all are like, X game is perfectly balanced except for horrific exploit that I'm about to show you. You know, very funny, very entertaining, highly recommend. And then Games Done Quick, also great, fantastic. Speedrunning, very good. Hello, my son. Here's the cat. Get to see him right before the end of the video. So, things that stood out most in that video, or that game, it's cooldown usage, basically. Like, we used Fortify either way late or way early most of the time. We barely used Halt, except to try and yank people off of edges with it, which is, you know, that's a use for Halt, certainly. But we didn't use it for, like, anything outside of that. I don't think we used it the entire first round. If we did, we only used it, like, once or twice. We, try and use Halt more, basically, and timing on Fortify. And then Ult as well, like, holding it for way too long. Like, you want to just, like, slam that boy down as soon as the team fight starts. And, ideally you can put, like, a fresh shield down with it, but if you're going to put it around a corner, it doesn't matter so much. Sometimes you have to be careful when you do put it around a corner, because you need line of sight to the bongo. So it's possible that you can put it down behind a corner, and you're just going to advance immediately afterwards, and then you're going to line of sight the bongo, and it's not going to do anything anymore. So sometimes you need to save it for, like, when you advance in a little bit more. You can't always put it behind a corner, but ideally you can put it behind a corner and then fight with it and then advance in once you've gotten control of the fight. Anyway, so thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord, ask questions more directly, and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. I start streaming on Twitch Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 8 p.m. EST to 11 EST. There's a link to the channel in the description. And if you managed to make it all the way through the video and somehow still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future. And I hope you found the video helpful. Here he comes again. There he is, my half-transparent boy.